let's get you dressed. I was at the thrift store and then I found this yellow curtain. This was €2. It's this thick, non-stretchy fabric, and I knew immediately that I wanted to make a summer dress from this. And yes, it is still winter, but you know, I will make it already and then I can wear it when the right time comes. So not only did I just want to make a dress, I also wanted to challenge myself a bit. I wanted to try to draft my own pattern from scratch. Like, I've never done that. Obviously I've used patterns, but not like made one of my own. The purpose of this video is not to show you how to draft a pattern from scratch. The purpose of this video is to show how to then alter the basic bodice pattern to make different shapes and models from this one pattern. If there is one thing I will say about drafting patterns, that it took a while. It can be a bit difficult to measure yourself. For example, I noticed that measuring from shoulder to shoulder, like my back, that was pretty awkward. The actual drawing of this took me at least an hour, but I think it was worth it. The website I found, I will leave a link in this, the box thing. It was so helpful. It was very clear, pictures were good, the instructions, everything. So thank you for the person behind that website. I ended up with a bodice pattern that fits me, that is literally made for me. It has like 2 dots, one on the bottom, one on the side, high neckline. And then to make sure that this guy actually fits me, I made a mock-up, and actually I'm gonna need some help for this. Cue in Diana. So yes, I made a mock-up from some leftover fabric and it fit. This is just obviously the front. There is also a back piece, maybe. I haven't actually done it yet. But then the thing is that for my yellow summer dress of my dreams, I didn't want obviously this look. I wanted to have like a princess seam sweetheart neckline with thin straps. I will show you how to alter this into this. I have the pattern here, and the important thing is not to alter this, but that's why I use a new piece of paper. So I put it here right in the middle of the paper, so that it stays in frame. Perfect. What I'm just gonna do, I'm just gonna trace it on this piece of paper. This is the original one, and I have copied the exact same thing on this pattern paper. It's important that all the dots are marked, like so. And also the pattern has this apex dot. I have a little hole here, so I just drew literally through this one and transferred this little dot here, which is the apex. And the only difference now is that I added a straight line from the middle of the shoulder seam straight down to the apex. And the next I will cut this open, then I can close this dart, and then I will cut all the way down and then remove this dart. Smooth the corner, and then I have 2 parts. And then the last thing to do is to alter the neckline, and I have measured with the mock-up how much I want away from the neckline, where I want it to sit. That was like about 10 centimeters in my pattern, so I'm gonna mark it there. And then also where I want the high point to sit. So that was also measured it from my mock-up, kind of eyeballing it, and that was like 9 centimeters or something. So then that's about the high point, but I'm just gonna eyeball it, make it kind of like a rounded shape. And then obviously the other side has to go low, so I'm just gonna blend it with the original armhole. I ran out of space on my memory card, but anyway, on the bottom, this is the original piece, and then these two white pieces here are what I'm gonna use. So laying them on top of each other, it's visible that this dot is gone, this side dot is gone, and because of that the armhole is kind of lower. And then I got rid of all this shoulder piece, and then I have marked the, what's this called, the grain line. It's like here and here, the side piece twice, center front. Also marked buttons. I want to add a button placket, but then I forgot to add it here on the pattern, but it doesn't matter, I just add a bit extra. Update. It looks a bit wrinkly because, well, it's wrinkly. Anyway, the front is sewn. These I have pins here to hold this, and then can you turn, Diana, please? Oh, so stiff. Okay. I could have done the back piece from just one piece, but then I did this seam in the middle because I felt it would give maybe a bit more structure to the back rather than just being like one flat piece of fabric. So I think, and I mean it's also like a detail. So what I'm gonna do next, I'm gonna sew the side seams, and then I think I will cut this, what's it called, a facing piece, which is basically like a piece that is the same shape, so that I get the raw edge away. And then I have to make the straps, and then that's the top. I'm also gonna top stitch the princess seams, but I'm gonna do it a bit differently. The other side I will kind of cut shorter. So what I'm doing is, I need 3 hands anyway. I have the other side I cut shorter, like this. So I will fold the longer edge over it, and then once over itself, and then pin in place. So over here, there's the wrong side obviously now, and then the right side will have just some visible stitches here. So that's what I'll do next.
Riding bikes along the beach, squeaking sand beneath our feet. Water is so clear and blue, all my dreams are coming true. Days are hard and nights are long. I like singing you this song. Skinny dipping with the moon. Life's more fun when I'm with you. These days, under the sun together. These days, let's make them last forever. These days, let's hope they last forever.
Top part is nearly finished. The lining I have sewed it on like so with a straight stitch, and then I also trimmed the seam allowance a bit so that it's even. And then the next thing I am now doing, I already started doing it, I am pinning the edge, folding it over to the wrong side. I will stitch here and then also here, so I will have 2 lines of stitches. Also, while I was doing it, I attached the straps to the back only. I still have to figure out how long I want them to be, so I have attached them inside the lining piece, so they will stay hidden and also properly attached. I will get pinning, then sewing, and then I will be done with the top. And it's finished. Obviously, still missing the buttons. I have now sewn, I measured it on me and decided how long I need the straps to be, and then sewed them also inside the lining piece. 2 rows of stitches, and then the lining plus then the seam allowance hidden. And this actually gives it, which was kind of the initial idea, is that this is quite like not stiff but kind of sturdy, so I hope it will stay in the shape and won't like flop around. But yeah, it's looking pretty good. I don't know yet what kind of bottom I'm gonna make. Maybe I have enough for a circle skirt. If not, I have to make a gathered hem. Or then maybe instead of gathers, I might make pleats. That might look cute. Anyway, I have to figure that out. And of course I am adding pockets, because what is a dress without pockets, right? These are just two big rectangles. I cut it so that the existing edge of the curtain would become the pocket opening, so the edge was already finished for me. Reveal time. Drum roll please. I think this came out pretty well. For this I am going to give 9 out of 10. The reason why it's not full 10 out of 10 is maybe the buttons. The thing is that my sewing machine is so old that making buttonholes with it, it's technically impossible. I can do them by hand, but it takes a long time, and I might redo these button things later. But for now I have these press studs, snap buttons, whatever they're called, and then just a row of regular buttons, but they just work as decoration really. The way I sewed the buttons, so the dress only opens from here to about here, and then all these buttons below my kind of waist are just sewed directly through both layers, so I can't like open the dress from the bottom, but I mean it doesn't matter because the point is only to get into the dress. Of course it has pockets for snacks. Good candy. Yes, so now I only have to wait for summer because it is, I mean, I'm wearing woolly socks here, but at least they match. I think this might also look nice with a belt. Let's try. Ah, well that looks cute. Yeah, that works. Because I'm a bit worried with the snap buttons that they might pop open, so that would be a bit awkward. So maybe the belt might help. So to conclude, I'm pretty happy with the dress. To imagine that this was a €2 curtain that I bought from a thrift store, I think I did pretty well. I still have some fabric left. Even I could have made the skirt part longer, or I could have even made like some sleeves for it, like there was still fabric left. So from one long curtain you can make a dress very easily, like there is enough fabric for that. Now that I have tried this whole altering the bodice block pattern, I think I will use the same pattern and make a top, but alter it so that the side panel goes a bit up, and then I will have some sleeves. Let's see if I make a video of that. I might. I don't have a good outro, so I'm just gonna say thank you and bye.